Number 1, Double Cross, the true story of the D-Day spies by Ben McIntyre. This book was such a fascinating and fun read. I started reading Ben McIntyre last year because he wrote The Spy and the Traitor about the Soviet Cold War espionage. And this book, Double Cross, about World War II British spies infiltrating the Nazis and engaging in a massive deception campaign to trick the Nazis into thinking the Normandy attack was coming from a different place. I could not put this one down. You should read it. Number 2, The Beantown Girls by Jane Healey. This is a fiction book, but it's historical fiction, which is my favorite kind. It's about a group of young women during World War II who want to serve their country, and so they sign up with the Red Cross to drive donuts, of all things, to the servicemen on the front lines. Of course, these girls end up involved in a lot more danger than just coffee and donuts. Such a good read. I highly recommend for anyone who likes historical fiction. Number 3, Bad Blood by John Carreyrou. This book was written by the man who exposed Elizabeth Holmes and Theranos. I know there was an HBO documentary about Theranos fraud this year, but I didn't watch it because I like books better, and this book did not disappoint. It's astounding how many people fell for Holmes' manipulation and lies, as she promised to design a blood test that uses only a single drop of blood, when she literally had no scientific basis for claiming she'd invented any such thing. She bilked billions out of powerful people, including the support of General James Mattis, before she was caught. You should definitely read this book. Number 4, Justice on Trial by Molly Hemingway and Carrie Severino. This book is fantastic. There's nothing Hemingway and Severino leave out when it comes to exactly how the Kavanaugh saga started, who plotted it, how Kavanaugh and his team defended his integrity, how the mainstream media perpetuated lies and colluded with the Democrats, and ultimately how Senator Susan Collins was convinced to vote to confirm Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. Without Molly Hemingway and Carrie Severino, I don't know if Kavanaugh would be a Supreme Court justice today. This one, it's a must-read even if you think you know the story. Number 5, Did America Have a Christian Founding by Mark David Hall. This book is a fabulous book. I cannot recommend this one highly enough. You should buy it today, and you should read it cover to cover. It's a quick read, actually, as Hall details the truth about whether American government was designed to be secular or religious, and what the founders believed separation of church and state actually means. This book is the best defense of religious liberty and the Judeo-Christian principles that do underpin our nation that I have read in a long time. Number 6, Behold Your Mother, a biblical and historical defense of the Marian doctrines by Tim Staples. Now, it doesn't matter if you're Catholic or not Catholic. Everybody who watches my show knows that I am a practicing Catholic. And this year, after I invited people to join me in saying a Hail Mary for Ron Reagan, a lot of Protestants and evangelicals challenged me on the doctrine of Marian intercession, or quote-unquote praying to Mary. This book, Behold Your Mother, is the best book that I've read, and I've read quite a few, explaining the biblical basis for asking the Virgin Mary to intercede for us. You don't have to agree with it, but it does answer a lot of the doctrinal questions in a very organized and easy-to-read way. I highly recommend it. Number 7, Red Notice by Bill Browder, the first investment capitalist in Russia after the fall of the Soviet Union. You might have heard of the Magnitsky Act. Well, that was named after Bill Browder's lawyer, after the Russians under Putin murdered Magnitsky for defending Browder, who challenged the Russian oligarchs. This was, hands down, the best book I read this year. It gives a chilling glimpse of how utterly dangerous the Russian government is to this day, and how they target people that they don't like. Browder actually claims he's in danger to this day, and the reason he wrote the book is so if he's killed for daring to be a capitalist in Russia, which is supposedly legal, and challenging the oligarchs, people know it was the Russians who did it.